Okay, I'm going to show you how to butcher a chicken. Firstly, we've got two knives. We've got a normal chef's knife and a fish filleting knife. The reason why I'm using this is because it's flexible, which allows you to work around the bones of the chicken. Okay, this chicken's about 1.8 to 1.9 kilograms, which is perfect for these large fillets because we're going to stuff those in future lessons. So about 1.8 to 1.9 kilograms is perfect. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take the fillets off. And what you've got to do is just feel for that backbone there, and you can feel it's sort of really knobbly in the middle. Okay, and you're going to use the chef's knife first just to cut down either side. Okay, it's really important that your knives are really sharp, and I've already sharpened these to make sure it's easy when cutting. Okay, so I'm just finding both sides of the backbone there, cutting down either sides just into the top of the ribs. Okay, next, okay, so I'm getting my fish filleting knife. I'm using it because it, like I say, it's flexible, which helps you to work around the rib cage of the bird. Okay, so as I bring that back down the line of the chicken fillet on the left hand side, you can just feel the wishbone here. I'm going to work my way down that wishbone, okay, really neatly. Bear in mind that the more meat you get off, the larger the fillet is going to be. Okay, so it's really important that we're really accurate. Starting at the top again, and then just finding the side there of the skeleton of the chicken. Okay, and just working the knife around it right down to the knuckle there of where the wing is attached. Okay, we'll come to that in a second. I'm going to now just sort of move back up to the top end, and again just work that round. As you can see, there's not a lot of meat left on there. Okay, most of it is actually on the fillet, and that's exactly what we're after. Okay, we're leaving the skin on for now. We can choose whether that's going to come off later. Okay, and I've got my fingers right underneath it there. I can just see the skin. Okay, and the chicken drumsticks up there at the top. I'm going to sort of bring my knife down in between the fillet and the chicken drumstick, right down, keeping the skin on there, right down to the wing. Okay, when we're at that stage, we'll need both hands, grab the wing and just push the joint. Quite often you'll hear it crack. This one seems to have popped out already, but quite often you might hear it pop out and crack, but this one seems to be okay. We'll need the heavier knife, the chef's knife, now to cut through that. Okay, now if you get right in between where the bone is and the cartilage, you shouldn't have too much of a problem cutting through it, and that's come away quite nicely. Okay, so now we've got one chicken fillet with our wing, full wing on and the skin on, okay, including the little mini fillet there, okay, which are quite useful for like goujons and things like that. Okay, pop that onto our tray. Right, so exactly the same applies with the other side. Using the filleting knife, it might be easier for some of you to actually turn the chicken round at this stage and work backwards. Okay, it does help. And exactly the same, working it around the carcass, the bones, okay, taking it off. And the same again, we need to find where that wishbone is and just move our knife gently down that, okay? Having a really sharp knife really helps. Same again, we can see the skin there, finger just, that's where you're going to cut through, okay, all the way up to the top of the drumstick. Remember, we're working backwards, so it's slightly different. Turn it back round, okay, and then working back to the joint again where our wing meets the fillet and the main body of the chicken. Hopefully after you've done this you'll lose any sort of feeling of squirminess or feeling like it's a bit weird. At the end of the day, you've just got to get on with it, because the results of being able to do this are really, really positive. Okay, so going through that joint there, Gives us our other chicken fillet with the skin, okay, with the wing still on, and our little fillet there, okay. No bits of bone or cartilage are attached to that, okay, it's all just meat, okay, and that's due to the fact that I've been really careful where I've been cutting through with the knife, okay. Again, we've got quite a nice clean carcass there, okay, a little bit of chicken left on there, which is great for when roasting, and maybe using that for a stock or especially a soup. Okay, so now we're looking at the legs and the thighs, okay? We've got them on both sides and they're facing towards me, okay? I'm just going to push those right out, okay? So push them right out. And now I'll be able to get my knife in between, okay? And take them out again. Being careful that we get in the right place. Okay. That bone out there. There we go, that's it. Okay, and the little white cartilage there shows where the joint is, okay? So we've got that in the right place. We've got our drumstick and our thigh on there. Put that onto my tray. Any little bits of bone that come off worth keeping for when you make a stock, which we'll be doing at some point as well. Okay, we don't want to throw anything away. The beauty of doing something like this is we're making the most of all the meat and the bones, okay? Same again, we've got the bone there, okay, we've got the thigh and the drumstick.